at that rod bent over there. We got something on over there.
We got two of them on. Double.
Well, folks, if that is, it don't get much better than that to start out a Bass Pro Shop Crappie Masters tournament.
Archer Butler Crappie right here, Lake Archer Butler, folks. That's all we're looking for, dog.
Folks, we're out here this first morning and I've done sit and watch Paul catch a fish, so I'm gonna take advantage of a day of me getting to do some fishing and wet a line here. They caught that fish in about 12 foot of water. I'm measured out, see how we can do myself, but today we've got obviously my guide dog. We're just gonna leave it a dog. We've been doing some fishing together, and hopefully we'll be getting on some fish today. Also joining us is a man you've come to know with us out here at the Bass Pro Shop Crappie Masters, Mr. Paul Alpers, and his buddy Bill Braswell. So we're excited to be out with these guys. We're off to a good start this morning. Hopefully we can keep it up. Out here on Archer Butler Lake this morning, we fished Tunica yesterday, and that's where the two legs of the Mississippi State Championship is going to be held. Fish on. Look at him, boy. Coming in the boat with him in a hurry. We're going to ease over and talk to a guy that we had a chance to meet and had a real good time talking with him. His name is Mr. Brian Goff.
We are very fortunate to be hosting the Crappie Masters tournament here in our area. And of course, Archer Butler is one of the finest fishing lakes for the crappie species, I think, in this region and the country for that matter. A lot to do here in the area, and anything at all that our community can do to help support this, I'm sure we're there.
Well, Mr. Goff, we appreciate you spending your time with us, and also for Hernando's support on the tournament trail. We're definitely excited about being here. We're going to ease around a little bit more around here in Hernando, as well as some of the other surrounding areas on these lakes. Obviously, we've got to visit Tunica and some other places as well, but Hernando has just really got some other places that we're very interested about going and visiting right now. So let's ease around and see who we run into, guys.
Whoop, whoop, there's one. There's one right there. No.
Fish on, he said.
All right.
Get excited with here. That's a good fish there.
Not a bad fish. Not a bad fish.
We might be finna start getting on them.
There's another Archer Butler Lake crappie, and we've caught about a half a dozen this morning. We've been fishing about daylight. I'm here with my good friend Bill Braswell, and we got our good friend Mike Jones with the director of State of Mississippi Tourism back there, and you know what? Whoop, there he is. And anyway, we're going to go back in and we're going to visit with him. This is a fine lake to fish, folks, but there's a lot of other amenities and a lot of great Mississippi lakes with big crappie in them. So let's go back and we'll go back to the hotel and we'll talk to Mike and let him tell you about a lot of the other amenities, not only of fishing, but also hunting here in the great state of Mississippi.
Fishing, I know I've been with Paul with crappie fishing all over the state, from Ross Barnett all the way up I-55 with Grenada, Sardis, Enid. It's just a great group of lakes to fish. But other than fishing, we have some of the greatest hunting in the state. The duck population with the Mississippi Flyway. There's always good duck hunting, great population of wild turkey. So there's just hunting and fishing, and to top it off, you have the saltwater fishing down on our Gulf Coast with great fishing down there. So there's a little bit of everything for the outdoors.
Mr. Mike, on behalf of Cody and I, we also want to thank you for any involvement we'll be able to get in with Mississippi. Obviously, I mentioned earlier, Mississippi is a state I love. All my family's from here, and if I had it my way, I'd probably be down here with you, and we'd be running around hunting and fishing all the time. But guys, let's go check out some more of the things happening with the Bass Pro Shop Crappie Masters tournament. There you go.
But what we're doing, we're in an old gravel pit here, and we're fishing in about anywhere from 18 to 40 foot of water. The two fish a while ago come out in 40 foot of water, 12 foot deep. We just now caught one that's about 11 inches long, and they come in about 18 foot of water, about 12 foot deep. So they look like they're holding in about 12 to 20 foot of water. But what we're using is what we call a double hook minnow rig on 12 foot Shakespeare rods. We got parati rod holders here, but as you see, my main line that's going down right here has got just a straight swivel, snap swivel on it. What I do is I snap that in to a 3-way swivel, with your main hook. Your top hook's out about 8 inches. Then you got a lead weight in the middle of it, right there, and then you'll have another hook on the bottom. We're actually sliding up a zip jig, tube jig, and tipping it with a minnow on the bottom and using a straight minnow on the top. Bill's been using this technique for a long time, haven't you, Bill?
Yeah, quite a while, yeah.
And it's actually, a lot of people call it slow trolling. We call it spider rigging. But this double hook minnow rig, we usually like to keep them, what, about 3 foot apart, don't we, Bill?
3 foot, yeah.
That way you got what we call a 3-foot strike zone. And when we was talking a while ago about the fish being 10 foot deep to 13 foot deep, now you've got the strike zone that they're in. I have sometimes, and I'm sure Bill has too, when it's a clear lake, actually spreading my hooks apart 8 or 9 feet.
Right.
Because you got fish that are suspended 6, 7 foot deep, and you got fish still down there at that 18, 19 foot of water. So a lot of different ways to do it, but today we're using the old standby technique. Double hook minnow rig, 3-way swivel, straight snap swivel on your top of your main line. That way, if you break off, if you happen to break one of these hooks off, instead of taking the time to have to tie another one on, you just unsnap it, unhook it. We got another rig on a spool back here, snap it right back on you, right back to fishing.
Well, folks, that might wrap it up for us this morning. Tell you what, though, while we getting things put up here, let's go hook up with Mr. Gary Burris Jr. with Harris Entertainment. He's up there at Grand Casino, has been taking care of us this week. And we're also going to hook up with Miss Claire Pittman, and she's with the Tunica Convention and Visitors Bureau. And they have just got some pretty interesting things going on here in the Tunica area, and things that the area offers other than just the fishing. Let's go hook up with them.
You know, our goal is when people are ready to take a break from work, that they have an opportunity to do anything they want to do. So you come to this resort, other than just a fabulous casino, we got great restaurants, a lot of beautiful hotel rooms, a golf course, championship, Keller Irwin designed golf course, 650 acre sporting clay, hunting preserve, wonderful spa with all the amenities you want. Our goal is, if the customer wants it, we want to give it to them.
But I've already heard of 2 or 3 2.5 pound fish caught, and I'm gonna let a little secret out, but you know, I don't know where you went today, but I know some guys that caught some fish over 3 pounds already since they've been here.
Wow.
So we're excited. Folks, stay tuned. We're gonna take a little bit more tour of the resort. We're gonna have a great time out here, and we're gonna show you what Tunica, Mississippi, Harris, and Tunica Lake, and Arca Butler is all about, what fishing's about, and how to have fun and fish at the same time.
Let's go find a few of them guys out there catching some fish and see if we can't get on a few.
Well, as we were trolling along, Gary pointed out an interesting technique that these two gentlemen over here are using. They're doing a method called side pulling. Probably a very useful technique on a slow day like today. And hopefully they pulled in some pretty nice fish. One cool thing if you keep up with Crappie Masters tournaments, is you get to see a lot of different techniques and styles. You know, these guys, not only do they know the species, know the areas and how to fish certain areas, but they've adapted different styles, such as side trolling, spider rigging. They'll pull crankbaits. Hopefully we'll get some fish on camera, but let's meet up with the other Cody and see if he hasn't been able to get on some good fish today.
This guy here, he's got him a little rig set up, and he's using the real deal. He's going with the cane pole series. The cane pole series. Folks got a husband and wife team fishing with us today. This is Gary and Barbara Kendrick, and they got their spider rigs rigged up out of front and the back, just same as what we've been seeing, just nice slow trolling. Y'all fishing all minnows, or y'all got any jigs tied on?
We've got some jigs. We got some Bobby Garland jigs on and some Southern Pro bows.
Bobby Garland Southern Pro jigs this morning. That was a little hit.
One of those bars.
You can see she's kind of got she's got a combination set up there where she's fishing a minnow on top, jig on bottom. Ooh. Yes, sir.
Not tournament fish, but they're fish.
There's a fish, there's a fish. Fish on, fish on, fish on. Folks, you want to come out and watch somebody consistently catch fish in these Crappie Masters tournaments. This is Ronnie Cat and Steve Coleman. And I'm going to tell you what, these guys have got it down to an art. Watching these guys work together to catch these fish is something else. They ain't got a national championship under their belt for nothing. These guys are out here working hard for every fish they catch. And I'm gonna tell you what, they stay consistent. I don't know that I've seen one that ain't been in the top 10 yet. I'm gonna tell you what, you sit back and watch these guys for a little while and watch how they fish together. They'll have, as soon as they start getting a hit, the man doing the work on catching the fish, he'll be standing by on that rod. The other guy's got the net right there by the water at the end of the pole. That's a crappie too. Fish on, he said. That's a good fish. I don't know. Must not be long enough. Well, folks, it's tournament day here on Tunica Lake. It's the first leg of the Mississippi State Championship for the Bass Pro Shop Crappie Masters Team Tournament Trail. And as you've seen already, we've done some of the pre-fishing. And Tunica Lake's been tough for the past couple of days. But I'm telling you what, this is the day that counts, and things have really picked up for these fishermen, especially the gar. But the crappie fishing has definitely been better than it has for the past couple of days. And we're excited to see what tomorrow holds on Arca Butler. But Cody, we've been on some fish this morning. How's the fishing been on y'all's side?
It's been a little slow. The crappie are pretty lethargic, and you know, there's a lot of things that have contributed to that. But Mr. Gary Mason and I are going to head back to the weigh-in. He's got to get his crappie face on. He's going to be the MC for the weigh-in, so hopefully we can get some a good spec, slab, crappie. There's a bunch of different names you can call them out, but hopefully we can get some good in on the weigh-in and see who wins the first place of the first leg.
Hey, Cody and Cody, first leg of the Crappie Masters Mississippi State Championship. Tomorrow's Arca Butler. These are our top three teams, and I mean, there's not much difference between the top three weights right now. Over 8 pounds in first place.
That's right.
Is it going to hold tomorrow?
We'll have to see. Definitely slow fishing today, but I think Arca Butler's going to produce some trophy fish. Cody's been able to get out there and see some of the crappie that are hiding out of them.
I'm going to tell you what, we're excited to see these fish come out of Tunica, but like y'all said, Arca Butler's going to offer some big fish tomorrow. These are definitely going to be some faces to look for, but hey, we're eager to get back out on the water tomorrow. Let's head up for the night. Paul, it's the second day of the tournament. We're here to see what's going to go on the second leg of the Mississippi State Championship on Lake Arca Butler here in Mississippi.
Hi folks, I'm here to give you the fishing tip of the week, which a lot of these anglers are using out here in this competition. First of all, I've got a double hook minnow rig here, but the way I'm going to do is I've got a 3-way swivel. If you can see that right there, I'll kind of hold it up so where you can see it. You got a top leader line, and then you got a weight going down on your bottom, and then another hook right on the bottom of it. It's called a double hook minnow rig. But I'm actually using a little tinsel jig on the bottom. I have got a rocky top jig that I've slid up and where I'm going to be using my minnow, and both these will be tipped with minnows, by the way. But anyway, there's a rocky top jig, which is one of our national sponsors, and it's kind of a little wedge tail jig, and it's got a lot of action. If you can see that, it just really moves in the water and vibrates a lot. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie this onto my main line, and I'm going to just run it through here. I'll twist it around about 4 times, like that. I'll run it back through the bottom hole and then back in through the top part of the hole in the line. And what that does is just cause it to cinch down, and when I do, I'll just pull it tight, and right there it locks a knot in there. This way you got a lot of stability on that knot, and that knot will be very hard to break. It'll take a lot of tension, a lot of strength. But anyway, that is your double hook minnow rig. If you can see right now, This hook will actually be sitting up and down like this. This is your main line. When it's in the water, it's going to look just exactly like that right there, with this trailing along the outside. What I've got there is about a 30-inch strike zone. Now, when I'm out and fishing in clear water, that strike zone, this leader is probably going to be 6-7 foot apart, because those fish could be suspended, and in that clear water they could be 6 or 7 foot in a school up and down. So I might have one at 6 foot deep, I might have the other one about 12 foot deep. In this dingier water like we are on Arca Butler Lake in Mississippi, I've got it only about 30 inches, because most generally if those fish are in a school and you're in 20 foot of water, 30 foot of water, whatever it might be, and they're down about 10, they're going to be between 10 and 12 foot deep. Normally that's about the thermocline this time of year, so they're going to be in that safe zone of about 10 or 12 foot deep. So that's where my strike zone will be, that's where I'll be presenting the bait. But this is your double hook minnow rig. What we'll be doing is slow trolling with it today out the front of the boat. We'll be having about, the limit here is 5 poles, so we'll be having with 2 guys. Our rules in the Crappie Masters is 8, so they'll be having 8 poles out today. And they'll be just slow trolling with them out the front of the boat, about 12 to, some guys use 12-foot poles, some guys use 14, some guys use 16. That's just their own preference. But a lot of guys like their poles way on out in the front of the boat with this double hook minnow rig. But this is the most common rig used in slow trolling, the spider rig trolling.
Well, folks, I'm out here with Mr. Paul Alpert today, and he was making note of some things that are really helping these guys fishing these tournaments today. Another thing that he made note of was a fish and a depth finder. And I'm going to tell you what, these Humminbird fish finders offer 3 main things that can help you not only be more successful in a tournament, but just go out and catch fish when you want to go catch fish. The first thing is obviously you're going to be able to see the fish when they're underneath you. These things nowadays do a great job of showing you when you're on top of fish, what size fish a lot of time. The second thing is they can show you the depth that you're at. They can show drop-offs. They can show cover under the water where the fish may be hanging out. And thirdly, your water temperature, which is always something that you want to consider. Seeing that if it's colder water, your fish may want something a little slower. If it's a little warmer, hey, go ahead and give them something more aggressive. But those 3 things right there are some key elements in really improving the fish that you catch, and especially numbers. Keep that in mind next time you go out.
Looky there.
Oh,
yeah. And you got 8 fish like that. My goodness. That can make you way up the line. I know you guys are great competitors and you never give up. We talked about that the other day when we was out there fishing. And folks, that's one thing you got to understand is if you're tournament fishing or just fishing for fun, as long as you're consistent and persistent in what you do, you're always going to be able to catch some fish. And these guys right here said, we might not win all the time, and it ain't always about winning. It's if we do a good job and we stay with it and it's the best we've done, then we've had a good time. And that's exactly what they've told me. And Cody, what do you think about this? You think these guys might make a great big jump?
I'm going to tell you what, I think we'll be looking forward to seeing them at the weigh-in today. And speaking of weigh-in, we might as well head up there, start getting things ready, because these guys are going to start rolling in.
Yeah.
We've seen them catching them all different ways. Let's find out which one's going to pay off.
We're going to know here in a little while.
Well, folks, you just saw some of the people that weren't in the top 20 weighing in, and 2 of the team members are going to be sitting in the hot seat right now, and hopefully they'll stay in it, stay into the money, but they may get a chance of getting kicked out. But it's going to be a good weigh-in.
I'm going to tell you what, the way this is working out, the people that everybody weighed in yesterday, the top 20 placers did not weigh in today. The teams that have weighed in for both yesterday and today, with the highest score will be sitting right here, like Cody said, in the hot seat. And these guys that were in the top 20 yesterday are going to be coming in, and one by one, as they beat the person in the hot seat out, that's who's going to be sitting here, and ultimately we're going to end up with who wins the tournament.
And we're pretty excited about it. We're at the Grand Casino in Tunica, Mississippi, and Cody fished on Arca Butler today, and how was it?
I'm telling you what, we were actually kind of surprised. You know, Tunica yesterday had been some tough pre-fishing and had some really good weights pulled out for the tournament. Today at Arca Butler in the pre-fishing, we had seen a lot of big fish being caught in the pre-fishing. It was kind of slow today. The clouds rolled in, changed things up. The water had some pretty good chop on it, and the wind made things tougher. But I'll tell you what, when we were out there, we did see some big fish being caught.
Well, hey, Cody and I don't have any business being in the hot seat, but stick around for the 2007 Bass Pro Shop Crappie Masters Mississippi State Championship.
We gotta have 12-2-9. Between the Caps and Coleman. Ronnie Caps and Steve Coleman.
boys?
Hey, Ronnie,
You got
see who you gotta beat right up here?
basket? You got a basket. What do they gotta have, boys?
God, look at that.
12-2-9. You got it, Steve?
Oh, I believe they do. I believe they do.
12.29.
And there it is.
Here we go.
Look out now! 13.0 pounds.
First of all, guys, congratulations on the great job fishing. You guys are constantly in the money. Every tournament you fish in, you won championship after championship. Now I'm going to ask you just point blank, what do you think your secrets are?
Consistency. That's it.
Consistency?
Our best asset is all the time we spend on the water, Gary. You know how that is. More days you spend out there, the better off you are. And we got a family that stays with us. They're all here. And thank goodness my wife went with me and fished in the rain the other day all day long.
I just want to say congratulations. I want to say congratulations to these guys sitting over here that y'all just knocked out of the hot seat too.
All right, guys, you guys sit down there for a minute. There you go, boys. You got it for a little while.
You guys been doing TV for a long time. Tell them how old you guys were when you started doing TV.
Well, I think we had just started driving. We were 16 years old when we started, and we'll be starting our 6th season this year. And so we're excited about seeing what it holds. We've had a lot of fun along the way.
I know a lot of guys that are mine and Paul's age that aren't into their 6th season on TV and wish they was. So give these guys a big round of applause. They do a great job. And we look forward to many, many years of seeing these guys on national television.
Gary, on behalf of Bass Pro Shop and Track Marine Group, we would wish you a check for $2,000.
There you go.
Congratulations.
$2,000.
On behalf of Bass Pro Shops and Track Marine, we want to present you a check for $4,000. Hey, they're fighting over it now.
That's a lot of money, guys. Congratulations.
On behalf of Bass Pro Shops and Track Marine, we issue this check for $7,000.
$7,000, guys. Good job. Congratulations. Folks, here we are. This is the first place finisher of the Mississippi State Championship, the Bass Pro Shop Crappie Masters Tournament. I tell you, I don't think it came much of a surprise to any of us out here that you guys would, if not winning, it would come up in the top place. You know, we were talking earlier with y'all, and you were throwing out some statistics of y'all's fishing career together, and that's what, over 1 million miles of travel.
Over 1 million miles.
Over 50 50 first place finishes.
Correct.
And there was one other one you gave me, and I'm drawing a blank on it.
Probably 250 tournaments. Total.
250 tournaments fished total, that's right. Well, guys, I'll tell you what, we caught up on Tunica yesterday and actually got on you guys catching some fish. Y'all were tough to find today. Y'all must have had a pretty sweet little hole stuck out because you really pulled it out, guys, and we want to congratulate you on being champions, man. That's what it's all about.
Appreciate it. We sure do.
Hey, no problem. Now, one question that the viewers always want to know is how was the fishing over the last few days?
You know, over here at Tunica has there was a lot of obstacles to overcome. To begin with, if you got out there before sunrise and after sunset, you had to deal with the mosquitoes. But those jumping big head carp, jumping fish, they're calling, everybody calling down here. That's a pretty tough situation. And if that wasn't enough, then the gar was out there. So
Yeah, wow.
we dealt with a lot of stuff and fish that didn't want to bite to start with. So at any rate, if you caught any fish down here, you had a good day to call it that.
Definitely a lot of obstacles out here, and one thing is what probably the way y'all do things when out fishing, what necessarily helped y'all overcome those obstacles?
Just like I said earlier, we've been fishing since 1986.
Wow.
Hard for crappie. So he did leave out one while ago. We've won over $1 million, but he failed to tell that we done spent over $2 million getting there.
That's right. That's
anyway,
right.
Anyway, you know, time on the water, there's no substitute for that. We go daylight to dark many times, and I come down here several times to pre-fish for this tournament with my wife, and just any chance we get a day off, man, we're out there after them. So time on the water, you're gonna learn a place and learn how to catch fish in it. That's our best asset, for sure.
That's right. Well, y'all heard from the champs themselves, gentlemen. Congratulations, man.
Yep.
It's always good seeing y'all around the Crappie Masters tournaments. Well, hey, folks, you heard from the champs themselves. Hope y'all enjoyed watching the 2007 Bass Pro Shop Crappie Masters Mississippi State Championship. Until next time, stay outdoors.
Here's your winners, guys.